pleased to take this opportunity today to get something off my chest that I've been agonizing over for such a long period of time, contemplating, discussing, and reassessing. So after considerable amount of thought and after conference with a lot of my associates and people who have supported me and supported the Democratic Party across the state, after discussion with many of those people, after this assessment and this reassessment, I've decided to support the proposal for a new federal courthouse at Mineola. Wow. There is a lot of talk, and I thought I'd take this opportunity in closing just to clear that up, because I don't want to. I'm going to have a announcement, just statement tomorrow, and I don't want to have any personal matter involved in what I think and what I intend to do.
Take it away,
Yes. Oh, yes.
Well, you know how you're the first one.
All right, it'll be madness from here on in.
It's the line it out. Yeah. 150. Let's set it around. Yeah.
So what happened? Everybody's supposed to come back.
I'm wearing an LBJ, but
We want that.
Becoming. Chance, I hope he continues.
okay, hold on. Put your head now.
Oh, you wouldn't have to even stand him.
How about it coming in here?
What will that be?
What time is it?
Which way are these?
Is there you announce what you're going to do?
Straight up at the moment. Can we move along?
Are you going to announce what you're going to do?
This is something, isn't it? Forget it. I'm talking, let it go.
Kennedy, as you know, has a very vigorous image. He has 10 children. Everybody thinks that's because he's a devout Catholic. Not so, he's a sex maniac. When he comes home, he doesn't ask what's new, he asks who's new. George Washington may have been called the father of our country, but Bobby Kennedy is. When he married the beautiful Ethel, he promised her the world, and he damned near ever do it. Bobby, as you know, likes to travel around the world. He was a big hit in Latin America, and every place around the world. I can tell you, I saw him personally in Indonesia, and the people adore him. I saw him in Saigon, the people love him. I saw him in the Philippines, when he talked to Macapagal during those conferences, and they adore him, I can tell you this honestly. And now I happen to know his next junket will be to India to teach birth control. In fact, it was Johnson's suggestion. He said, let's give Bobby Kennedy back to the Indians. But Bobby's really smart. He likes to have residences all over the country, just in case he decides to run from any place. For instance, he has a house in New York, a home in Maryland, a home in Massachusetts. Right now he's got his eye on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But the word I get is that the present tenants aren't ready to move. They called him a carpetbagger when he ran for senator from New York. They said he didn't know New York at all. Everybody said he doesn't New York. Well, those are lies. So what if he thought Rockefeller Center was the governor's navel? Talking about that election, here's a telegram to Robert Kennedy. Now I know how Elizabeth Taylor feels. Signed, Kenneth Keating. I will explain it right after the luncheon. About a thing. If you lose New York, I'll buy you New Jersey. As a kid, his father treated him like any normal kid. Not like a rich man's son at all. He gave him blocks to play with. 41st Street, 42nd Street. But Bobby, in his own right, is so rich now he sends care packages to Rockefeller. Now a few statistics about our future president. Robert Kennedy is 5 foot 8 inches tall. If he takes a haircut, he's 5 foot 2. He can't just go for a haircut, he's got to get an estimate first. The only man I know goes for a haircut has got to take gas. Well, let's talk of LBJ and Robert Kennedy. Papers, the columnists, people say they don't like each other. That's not true. I have a telegram here that disproves it. It says, Dear Bobby, I am with you all the way, signed LBJ, Lionel Bart Jackowitz. Robert Kennedy, I know, has no feelings against the president. I happen to know that Bobby Kennedy recommended Nixon's TV makeup man to Johnson. And Johnson loves Kennedy. Didn't he suggest to Bobby that Len Hall become his campaign manager? And it's for Bobby and Bobby alone that LBJ is willing to lift the travel ban and get him the hell out of the country. I've thrown a lot of pretty fresh lines at a very important man, but that's because I love him. I saw him work in Indonesia up close. I saw him give his time, he and his beautiful wife, traveling to the roughest areas in the world to show the friendship of America where it was needed. And only a great man can take this kind of ribbing. And for that I am grateful. I am very honored to honor Robert F. Kennedy.
That was great performance. Thank you. That was just fantastic.
I said to somebody this morning, this is my best
Sorry, Len, I have to get rid of it.
Had they given that to the Senate, they better not give you to a dog.
We're also honored in the
shit off.
Oh, my ears exploded.
The girl is still changing.
So am I. Girls are still changing. So I'll tell you a little bit about the show.
We'll have to go see that show.
Out
Nice
the
eyes.
east, to the base of an island. Yeah, way down. The arms of a willow tree and the pelvis of a camel. It's Canada. Take it over.
Senator, one man doesn't need encouragement. Now, this was a left ball. Here now. How do you like that highway design? Tom, but the only one really looking excitedly at the girls is Len Hall. He still chases girls. He forgot why. Len Hall is in the stage now where he takes a girl out. He won't take yes for an answer.
In Monday of the movie, all did the Congress race, and one of the butts to make a mistake. Georgie Murphy, Senator, Ronald Reagan, Governor, no one loves me since I reached the age of puberty. My God, you've run up 180 years of bad luck this month alone.
Never mind that. Tell Ted to go home and send in the first candidate for vice president, please.
Governor Romney to see you, Senator.
My God, George, you look like hell. What happened?
The going got rocky.
Down to 9%. All I just wanted to get was a wide eye. The average American, yes, into the follow polls. Average American male is what? 10% gas, 10% pork, and 80% chicken. I thought so. All right. thank you, Edward.
Richard Nixon to see you, Senator.
Very good. I'll fix it.
I read your ad. I stay working for a teammate.
So you want to do the wrong party?
Oh, boy, you. I can't get invited to run my day. I'll split with it, 50-50. You'll make a great VP, man.
Like, I said, it's nice person.
Well, after all, boy, he's one of the flower kid. I got the dog glove. For the country going to the dogs, we can't miss.
You trying to clean it.
Get my haircut. You know, that sheepdog hairstyle of yours is just what I need to feel. And you know, after all, boys, we're both after the same guy, aren't we? And this way you won't have to wait until 782.
Out of the Democratic Party.
Len Hall and Bob Moses, Joey Adams, distinguished guests at the head table, and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to be here. There were a number of things that rather distressed me when I heard that considering my present situation, my mother had given away $500,000. That distressed me. And she's busy all over the country giving money to Jews and Italians. And I wonder if she saved any for what might be necessary. I'm delighted to see so many of you and to be amongst so many friends. I look out there and see so much of the business community, so many great supporters of mine. One of the financial magazines took a recent poll amongst 400 businessmen of the politician they would like to see president of the United States and who they admire most. And I got one vote. I'm the only one in the United States that can take all his supporters to lunch. So I'm delighted to see you. I feel that I'm amongst friends, just as I feel I'm amongst friends in the Senate. People wonder why I'd consider leaving the Senate. The warm message that I received last fall when I was ill, and a message was sent to the hospital, very warm, signed by the Vice President speaking for all of the rest of the Senate, and said that we understand that you were sick, we hope that you recover, and the vote was 46 to 43. I'm delighted, as I say, to be here. And I want you to know, all of you, that I'm in the fight all the way. I'm not going to turn my back on it. I'm going the whole distance. Actually, people wonder, they read the paper and they wonder why I'm reassessing it all, taking another look at what I'm going to do for my political future. To be quite frank with you, how it all arose was that I ordered 40 balloons for my children, and they sent 40,000 balloons. And I didn't know what to do with them when I got to Chicago. And secondly, I thought that the question wasn't really getting the nomination in Chicago, it was just a question of getting an invitation to Chicago at the convention. When I received a notice from the Democratic National Committee that they'd reserved a whole floor for me for the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and the whole floor was at a hotel in Des Moines, I started to... I knew I was however, in a little bit of trouble when I sat down here today and I said to Len Hall, "What do you think?" And he said, "Go." There have been a lot of stories and a lot of discussion about that, and a lot of speculation as to what that relationship is, and the idea that we didn't get along when he was vice president under President Kennedy. I just want to assure you that we got along extremely well. I remember the conversations were calm and peaceful, and it was a real warm feeling. And then as we were leaving the inaugural stand, actually, he had me down last week, and it was down to the White House, and it was a very nice conversation. We talked about a ceasefire, and we talked about peace. We talked about the problem of pacification, and we had a conversation for an hour and a half, and he invited me back and said the next time we'd talk about the problem of Vietnam. So, gentlemen, I'm pleased to be here. I'm pleased, in closing, to express my appreciation to Joey Adams. He talked about seeing me in Indonesia and the fact that we met in some of these other countries. His talent and his wit and his energy has done a great deal of good and brought a great deal of happiness here in our own country. But it's true that he's also brought happiness in many other countries and to many other peoples around the globe. And I think that we all owe him a great debt. I thought as I sat here and listened to him that probably that was the best monologue that I have ever heard, what he did here today. So I want to express my appreciation to him for all that he's done. Sounds like a possibility.
Senator, earlier today, some of the ladies were asking you about the charges that you waited too long to make a decision.
Yeah, I will answer, discuss all
Could you
those
tell us
things.
what you told the ladies today?
I'll discuss it all tomorrow.
What about the lady who said, "What can I do for you?" What did you answer her?
Let's see, what did I say?
I'll tell you.
What did I say?
You'll say, "You can help me in my great effort."
What did you tell her, Senator?
Well, according to what was just repeated to me, I said, you can help me.
Senator, this statement tomorrow will be your decision after this reevaluation you've been
Now,
doing.
can I just end it? Thank you. Thank you
Senator,
very
she
much.
couldn't help you about not running, could she?
Okay.
I can't help it.
Do I put them on?
Let's go, movie boys.
From what I understand, from the facts that have been put out already, it's a very, very unfortunate distortion of what really occurred. I'm surprised and I'm shocked that this should occur. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead, if somebody has a question.
Reaction to the story circulating concerning the offer of or conversations between Mr. Sorensen.
Did a statement over the period of the last hour as to what the facts did occur, what the situation was, and that will be put out after they finish typing it in the next half hour.
Was there, in fact, Senator,
as I say, the statement will speak for itself.
Was there, in fact, Senator, some discussion about this matter?
The statement will speak for itself.
Did you give us any?
And I'm now on my way to Kansas City.
Did you give us any indication as to where the distortion may lie?
Can you read the story? Can you read the story?